I'm giving you permission to start this video.
Okay, so hi, today's session we will be working on conservatively cooking with class. So we'll be going over energy conservation and what that means. So energy conservation, it helps you reduce strain on your heart, it helps you reduce fatigue, it also brings down your shortness of breath, and also brings down stress-related pain, which I think would be very helpful for you. Learning to conserve your energy is all about finding a good balance between your work, rest, and leisure in order to decrease the amount of energy demand on your body. So the first concept that we're going to go over is remembering the 4 P's. These are all strategies that can help you to conserve your energy as you go about your day. So we're going to take turns reading over this.
Okay.
Can you go ahead and go over the first P?
Prioritize. Decide what needs to be done today and what can be done at a later date or a time. For example, going to a doctor's appointment would take a priority over dusting the living room. When you have more than one thing to do, begin with the most important to make sure it gets done.
Perfect. Yep. So you want to try and prioritize what you do during your day or during your week. Our second P is called plan. So planning your activities first to avoid extra trips. You want to try and gather your supplies and equipment before you begin so that you have everything. You want to plan to alternate heavy with lighter tasks depending on your work week. And try and plan your activities throughout the week to avoid doing too many activities at once so that you don't get fatigued. Another good thing to do is also plan to get a good night's rest, especially when you know the next day you have a lot more than you usually need to do. It's good to sleep a little earlier. And then lastly, you can always use your friends and family to your advantage. If you know that there's something that you do, like you need to get done that is harder for you, you can ask your husband or you can ask your kids and maybe they can help you out there. Okay, so we have prioritize and plan, and then now the third one.
Pace. Maintain a slow and a steady pace. Never rush. Rest often. Rest before you feel tired. Avoid holding your breath. Practicing breathing slow and steady. Pursue lip breathing. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 2 and out from your mouth for a count of 4. This is like a blowing out a candle on a cake. Remember that you may have to ask for help to do some task, and that is okay. Listen to your body and know your limits.
Yep. So pacing yourself is very important. It's good to keep tune of your body, whether you're getting tired, so that you know when you need to sit down and take some rest. And then lastly, the 4th P is positioning. So too much bending and reaching can cause more fatigue and shortness of breath. So try and avoid bending and reaching as much as you can. You always want to try and maintain a nice upright posture when sitting and standing. This helps you get more oxygen into your lungs and helps your body work better, basically. And then last but definitely most important is to sit when you can. Sitting supports your body so you can focus on your breathing and helps you conserve energy during your activities. So sitting reduces almost 25% of your energy use, which is a very high amount, which would be helpful for you. So yeah, so those are the 4 P's, prioritize, plan, pace, and position. So then also this document is actually very helpful because it goes over some more tips in different areas of the home. So we have dressing and hygiene, we have tips during shopping, tips during housework, but for today's activity, since we're cooking, there's also another area for cooking. So I was thinking you could go over these tips as well, and go ahead and go down the list.
Cooking. Cook and bake in steps to reduce energy use. Gather all ingredients and utensils before starting. Plan ahead with meal preparation. Make large meals and freeze in serving for later use. Use lightweight cookware and dishes to conserve energy. Use paper plates and cups to eliminate dishwashing. Use electric appliances such as can openers, blenders, food processor, and dishwasher to conserve energy. Consider buying easy to prepare or frozen meals or using a meal delivery services.
Yep, so these are some tips that you can use while you're cooking in the kitchen, which I know you really enjoy doing. So out of these tips that we've gone over, can you think of 3 energy conservation tips that you would be able to use during our activity today?
Okay, gather all ingredients and utensils before I start cooking.
Okay, yeah, that's a great one to start with.
Plan ahead with the meal preparation.
Okay, yeah.
Use lightweight utensils or cookware to save energy.
Okay, so those are the 3 you would like to go with?
Yes, please.
Perfect. Okay, so we can go ahead and use these while we're doing our activity today. So one of your tips is actually plan ahead. So that's actually part of our activity. We're going to plan out our steps for today's activity. We're making some pasta. So I have some numbers here. The first one's already filled out, which is gather our ingredients, which is actually another one of our tips that we want to use. So that's our first step. But what I want us to think about what our steps are after that. So after we gather all of our ingredients, what's next?
Okay. First of all, put the oil in the pan.
Yeah, go ahead. Write it down. Right next to 2.
Put oil on the pan.
Yeah.
Then turn the heat on a medium low.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the next step. We're going to get the heat going.
Chop all the ingredients. Gather all the ingredients first, and then
And then we're going to chop them.
chop the
Okay.
ingredients.
So that's what? That's 4? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Step 4. Chopping the ingredients.
Then put all the ingredients, chopped ingredients in the pan.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So we're on 5.
Then add the sauce in the pan
Okay.
and let it simmer for at least 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Add seasoning in it.
All right. Yep. So we're on we're 6 is add the white sauce, okay, and then 7 is add seasoning,
Correct.
and then we're gonna let simmer for 10 minutes. Okay. And then what's after that? What's step 9?
After you add, it simmers, you add the pasta in it.
Okay, so you wait 10 minutes, and then we're gonna add pasta. Okay. And then what's after that?
Wait another 5 minutes and stir the pasta.
Okay. Is there anything after that?
And it's all done.
Okay. All right. Not too bad. What is it? 10 steps?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So now we've planned it all out, which makes it easier for us, so we're not making extra trips, which is going to conserve our energy.
Right.
So let's start with step 1. So we're going to gather our ingredients. Do you know where everything is?
Yes.
Okay, let's go do it. Okay. All right, so we got our chopping mat, got our some of our utensils already out. Okay. So we've got some spinach, some mushrooms, oil.
Let me add the oil in the.
Well, let's gather everything. Do we have our seasonings? Do we have everything that we need?
Okay.
Okay. Does it seem like we have everything? What about our sauce?
Sauce too. Yes.
Where's our sauce? In the fridge. There we go. There it is. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think that's everything.
Yes.
Okay. So what's next?
Now add the oil in the pan.
Okay.
Medium. Yes. I start this.
Okay. Good. And then we're doing step 3, which is starting the heat. Okay. And now we come back here and we're chopping now. So wait, before we start chopping, I was thinking, what's a good way for for us to conserve our energy? Well, let's take a second. What's a good way to conserve our energy while we chop?
Sit down.
Okay, yeah, let's do it, right? So we're gonna take a seat. Yep. Is that enough space for your feet?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
All right. Perfect. So while we're doing this, you're actually conserving energy, even though you're doing something. Doing a great job. Okay, are we done with the spinach?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you need more of this bucket? This tool is actually very good for conserving energy too.
Yeah.
It's a lot less
It doesn't
movement
so
for
much
your wrist.
strain.
Mhm. It's kind of like a rocker knife.
Yeah. You have to be a little careful, but it's good. Okay.
All right, so let's see what's next. So what do?
We're gonna put the seasoning in the pan.
We're gonna put the chopped ingredients into the pan, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean chopped ingredients. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I thought we were moving ahead all of a sudden. Okay. Do you need to add anything else?
Yeah.
Seasoning?
Seasoning, yes.
Yeah, sure. All right. So we're adding our seasoning.
Sorry, I think
That's okay. It's right next to you, so that works out. And then tell me about this pan. Is this pan heavy or lightweight?
it's a very lightweight.
Okay. That's good. All right. So what's next on our...
Okay. We're gonna add the white sauce in the pan.
Okay. So remember, try not to reach or bend. Now what?
A little bit of
A little bit of water.
okay.
Okay.
That's it. Now let it simmer for about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we're just gonna let it sit with the heat on there.
And we're gonna put the heat a little bit higher
Okay.
so it simmer better.
So what we can do is normally while it simmers, we can take a seat and we can sit right here. But since I actually have a little bit discussion to do, maybe we can keep an eye on it
Okay.
and we'll sit over there
Sure.
and discuss some of what we did during this task.
Right.
All right. So I'll put a timer on for like 10 minutes, just so that we don't lose track of time. But I had a couple questions for you. So I had a couple questions for you. Based off of what we did today in our activity, can you identify a list of possible, can you identify any areas that you had difficulty with when implementing energy conservation techniques during our activity? Was there something that you had a hard time with?
No, actually, because when you plan properly, it went smoother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Generally, I don't do that, but after we discuss, I plan it and it went smooth.
Okay. So most of it was easy. There's nothing that you found hard at all?
No.
Okay. I noticed that you did forget to not reach. Sometimes you would reach to the other counter.
Right.
So that was one area that I think that you did have a hard time remembering.
Right.
And also it's always good to remember to sit, which you
Right.
did remember, but I had to give a little bit of a reminder that,
Right.
hey, we're chopping, let's sit during this, right?
Correct.
So you did have a little bit of a hard time there, but I think that the more we practice and the more we do it, the easier it gets to remember.
Correct.
Yeah, because you're not doing it like you normally would on a
Right.
regular basis. So it'll take some time. All right, so do you think that you can use some of these strategies that we talked about today on a regular basis?
Yes. I think it would help me in my daily routine.
Okay, yeah, I think it would too. I think that you've been mentioning during our sessions that you get very tired, and especially during cooking, even though you love doing it. I think
Correct.
you've mentioned to me a couple times now that
Yes.
you want to cook, but you get so tired while doing it.
Right.
So I think these strategies will help. Okay, so then our next question is, what technique would be easiest to start using regularly? Is there anything that we did today that you felt would be so simple to put into your routine?
Gather all ingredients. It's the easiest technique. I think I should use it on my daily routine. It will consume my energy.
Yeah.
It will make me feel better because sometimes even this much cooking is for me is a task
Yeah,
if I'm tired. But if I do this plan ahead, it
will be easier. Yeah. So I think we don't realize how many trips we really make.
Correct.
Even though it's just a couple steps, going to the refrigerator to grab the sauce, or grabbing, the chopped ingredients, or having to go into the cabinet to get seasonings, and going back and forth, you're actually adding so many more steps instead of just having everything out on the counter and ready so that you don't have to look for anything. It's all right there. Okay, so did you feel that today's session was beneficial to you? And
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm happy about that. Why do you think it was helpful?
It shows me how to take care of myself better.
Okay, yeah. And I think that by practicing and continuing to use these strategies, you'll notice a difference in your energy and your fatigue levels while you do whatever you need to do.
That's right.
All right. So do you want to go check on the
Yes.
the pasta
Yeah.
real quick?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's take a look.
See, it simmers.
Awesome.
Yes. So now we're gonna add the pasta.
Okay. Put the pasta in. And if you want to take a seat during this task, you can as well, actually, while you're stirring. It's
Now this is my
there we go. So let me get my paper. So now we added the pasta, or step 9, and it says wait for another 5 minutes.
another 5 minutes and it's done.
Okay. So this is a great, you can either sit on the couch or at the table, but always while we're just waiting and looking at a pan, it's good to take a seat, right?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. You did a great job today, though.
Yes, thank you.
I think we used at least 2 tips,
Yes.
right?
I think I want to do it in daily basis and next
Yeah.
week.
Can you tell me what 2 tips we used today during the session?
Yes. Gather all the ingredients, try to sit, and it more relaxing while I'm cooking. Before I was just hustling everywhere to get this, get that.
Yeah.
But today I feel like because everything was planned, it makes
It went
it easier
quicker.
and faster. Yes.
Yeah. And we're also using lightweight cooking.
Yes, we do.
Just good.
That's very good. Let's check.
Alright, and when you think we're done, we can turn it off. And I do want to just go over what we did today again on the table.
We are almost done.
Almost done. A couple
So-
more minutes.
No, I think it's done.
Okay.
It
Sure.
simmers, yes.
Alright, so then let's go take a seat again, carefully.
Yep.
And I would just like to talk about what we went over today. Okay. So the purpose of going over these tips today was mainly to give you some strategies to use, not just when cooking, but also throughout your day, so that way you find an increase in your energy levels and reduce the amount of fatigue that you're feeling. So that was the main purpose. Some of the things that we went over, the 4 P's, do you remember them?
Yes. Plan, pace, prioritize,
Uh-huh. The last one is a hard one. Has to do with bending and reaching.
positioning.
Positioning, yep. So that's our 4th one. So let's remember them and remember to practice them, right? So that was another great thing that we went over. And then also our list of cooking tips, specifically today, right?
Yep.
So we went over cooking and baking in steps, gathering all the ingredients, planning ahead, making larger meals so that you can save that throughout the week. Lightware cookware, paper plates and cups, using our dishwasher and things like that. So all great tips. And I would like you to keep this, so that you can go ahead and use it on a daily basis, including this as well, so that you have why, this session worked for you and what you did, so you can have all the steps as well. Okay?
Sure.
So thank you so much for coming in
Thank
and
you.
participating,
Thank you.
and I'll see you at our next session.
Sure.